Stop scrolling. If you are part of the collective that's awake to what's really going on in our country, you're going to want to hear this.
This is the current position of the planets in the sky right now.
We talk about America first and defending Christians, but how can we do this if we align ourselves with a nation that does not do that itself?
We can leave behind all of the things that did not work in the system, and we can reinvent the system in a way that benefits us and where we are today as a society.
The government is preparing for disclosure, but the Bible calls it a great deception.
Hello family, welcome to BabsWTV, where we talk about real life, real struggle, and what's happening around the world. The bills don't care who you vote for. The rent don't care what you believe. Cost of living crisis in 26 is killing people. And the system is failing Americans. Then quietly, suddenly, at once America, we need to talk about this. What's happening, people? What's happening right now? If you are one of those people feeling the pressure of the world, you're not alone. Make sure you leave a comment, subscribe, and follow me for more. Let's watch these clips.
During the Great Depression, they didn't call it the Great Depression. You know who's spending money right now? You think it's the lower class? No. You think it's the middle class? No. Guess who it is? Billionaires, trillionaires, millionaires. They are upholding our economy currently. Sounds a lot like the Great Depression, doesn't it? Now you might be thinking, no, this is good. They're benefiting our economy. They're putting so much money into the economy when we can't. No, you're wrong. Do you think they're investing in an economy that benefits us? When we get money, we invest it in our businesses, our people, our local businesses. We invest it where we choose to, and it benefits us in the end. Because when we have money, when we're making money, we spend money, which there benefits our economy and benefits us. If they are only spending money on things that benefit them, like businesses that we cannot afford, things that we cannot afford, then it is not benefiting us. It is not benefiting the economy for us either. The economy only benefits the rich and wealthy, which is why the rich keep getting richer. To put that into simple terms for you, employer can't afford to have more than 3 people staffed at a restaurant that requires at least like 6 to 7. Yeah, that's a problem. It is a complete domino effect. When you have no money, you're not spending money, companies are not getting money, then people lose jobs, people become understaffed, no one can find a job. Meanwhile, rent and groceries is going up constantly. So it is a domino effect. In 2026, roughly 180-something million Americans are jobless. During the Great Depression, there was only 15 to 13 million people jobless.
The United States has to get out of the way before the Antichrist will come. Let's talk about it. Revelation chapter 17 and 18 speak of this harlot, this woman, this judgment that's coming upon this harlot who is also symbolizing this great city of sin, which is Babylon. If you haven't realized yet, Babylon, this mystery Babylon character, this great harlot, is the prostitute that Revelation 17 and 18 is talking about. So the prostitute sits on top of the beast, drunk on the blood of saints, where we get to Revelation 17, verse 16, and I'm going to summarize, I'm going to break it apart here, but it says, "They will make her desolate and naked and devour her flesh and burn her up with fire, for God has put it into their hearts to carry out this purpose by being one mind and handing over their royal power to the beast until the words of God are fulfilled. And the woman that you saw is the great city that has dominion over the kings of the earth." That's already telling us that the kings, this harlot sitting on top of the beast in her fornication, which means they cannot move. The beast loves the fornication that it has with the prostitute. Everyone, I wouldn't say everyone, but people love a prostitute, but they don't love a prostitute. You go to the prostitute to get what you need, and then you leave, and the respect goes with it. That's how the rest of the world...
America. Whenever you're gonna realize it's over. It ain't just America though. It's just America the only ones that can't figure out why it's happening. And it's like I said, it's just not. the whole world just doesn't care about money anymore. People just care about their family. They want to love now. People are healing. The world is healing. It's healed, matter of fact. We're like on the last second of it being completely healed. People are healing, chat. And America just doesn't want to heal. And once y'all realize that people just want to live their own life and nobody wants to get made money off of them, people just want to live, support their family, have their own source of food, which is like chickens, cows, whatever that is, their own house. People just need land. Y'all keep building these high rises and stuff. Man, nobody care about that no more. People want to live and protect. That's it.
Mr. Trump and Ms. Trump, I'd like to ask about your father's relationship with Israel. He's taken over $230 million from pro-Israel groups. During the summer against Iran, even though he advised against it, Israel still attacked Iran and the U.S. still bombed on behalf of Israel. Your father's frustrations with Netanyahu have been made clear when he cursed on national TV over the situation. Israel has not been a great ally to the U.S. all the way since 1960 when they bombed the USS Liberty. Israel is a nation where Christians are constantly under attack in both Gaza and the West Bank. We talk about America first and defending Christians, but how can we do this if we align ourselves with a nation that does not do that itself?
There's no question my father said frustration. In fact, I think he said frustration throughout the whole conflict with both.
Stop scrolling. If you are part of the collective that's awake to what's really going on in our country, you're going to want to hear this. So I was talking with a friend yesterday, and the letter to America from Osama bin Laden came up. And that prompted me to go digging on the Office of the Director of National Intelligence government website. And there I found something very interesting. There is a document titled To the American People, and it was released by the Office of the Director of National Intelligence as part of the declassified Abbottabad files recovered from the compound where Osama bin Laden was hiding. So while this is not some random screenshot from TikTok or a fake PDF floating around the internet, it is a U.S. government-hosted English translation of a document officially attributed to bin Laden. So keep that in the back of your mind. You can also tell that this is a later document, not the original 2002 one, because it talks about Obama, the new administration, the economy, Afghanistan, lobbying, and corporate power. So I'm going to read through it in like 2-minute parts. Buckle up. This is part 1. The letter begins, "In the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful, to the American people. Peace be upon those who follow the righteous track hereafter. The subject of my talk to you is the overwhelming control of capital, money, and its effect on the ongoing war between us. I direct my talk specifically to those who support real change, especially the youth. I say from the onset, your former president warned you previously about the devastating Jewish control of capital and about a day that would come when it would enslave you. It has happened. Your current president warns you now about the enormity of capital control, and it has a cycle whereby it devours humanity when it is devoid of the precepts of God's law or Sharia. The tyranny of the control of capital by large companies has harmed your economy, as it did ours, and that was my motivation for this talk. Tens of millions of you are below the poverty line. Millions have lost their homes, and millions have lost their jobs to mark the highest average unemployment in 60 years. Your financial system is in its totality, was about to collapse within 48 hours had not the administration reverted to using taxpayers' money to rescue the vultures by using the assets of the victims. As for us, our Iraq was invaded in response to pressure from capitalists with greed for black gold, and you continue to support the oppressive Israelis in their occupation of our Palestine in response to pressures on your administration by a Jewish lobby backed by enormous financial capabilities. Make sure you're following for the rest. You're going to want to hear it.
And this deception is so powerful that it's designed to rock the very foundation of your faith. Yeah, so let's talk about it. And if you don't know me, my name is Jake, and my channel is about preparing your heart and your mind for the return of the King, the Lord Jesus Christ, one video at a time. So when this disclosure happens and the veil is lifted, many are going to be deceived. Many Christians that have shallow roots, as Jesus described in the parable of the soils, are going to be uprooted. But the ones who are grounded, the elect, need to be prepared and need to understand exactly what is going on. Among many verses that Jesus gave us, he said in Matthew 24 that in the end there will be a time when many false deceivers would arise with many lies so deceptive that it would even shake the foundation and faith of the elect. And this isn't science fiction, okay? This is the war that has been going on with the watchers since the beginning, and it is reaching a climax. And now they are running scared, and they're going to pull the veil off of our eyes and they're going to reveal themselves. But the king is coming back, and we know that he's coming not to judge us entirely, but to judge the ones who created the chaos in the world from the beginning. So if you want to stand firm, you need these 3 encouragements I'm going to give you right now. Number 1, be a workman that knows the truth. In 2 Timothy 2:15, we are encouraged to present ourselves to the Lord as a workman, someone who is diligent, studying the word of truth, knowing it accurately, and handling it properly. If you don't know the word, if you don't know the book, you will be prone to lies. And number 2, don't get distracted, because when the disclosure happens, you have to be grounded in the truth so that you know what's going on. The fact that they're showing themselves is testimony to the reality that Jesus is coming back, and he's coming back soon. And they know that their time is short. And whatever alliances they have with the humans that are on the earth giving us this information, listen, doesn't matter. The Lord is on a timeline to return so that he can judge every single one of them. And number 3, recognize the time that we're living in. And you don't need to be rocked or disturbed by any of this, because the Bible has already given us the story from the beginning. So the government calls it disclosure. The Bible calls it a great deception. And we were warned that the elect would be tested, the firstborn. And it's time for you, as one who is chosen, called to rule and reign with Christ, to stop being a spectator. Get in the word, be a workman, as God encourages you to be, and handle the truth and know it for your own good. Please hit the like button, and if you're not following me, follow me for more encouragement every day for the return of the King.
The mass awakening of America is beginning. It is upon us. And according to astrology, it's happening right on time. If you are in tune with the spirituality of everything that's going on, especially regarding politics, you probably already know what I'm about to say. But even if you don't, that's okay. Stick around and have fun with this anyway, okay? You might learn something. And I'm just going to say this and get it out of the way. Trump may not have been the choice that you picked in the 2024 election. That may not be who you voted for. But at the end of the day, Trump is the one that is taking us in the direction that we need to be going. And whether you like him or not, Trump has a big role in exposing in the ways in which the American people have been exploited and taken advantage of. This is the current position of the planets in the sky right now, as of January 23rd. And this concentration of energy right here is giving like once in a lifetime type of energy. And even if you know nothing about astrology, I know most people have heard somebody talk about Pluto moving into Aquarius this past year. And this is the main trigger that is setting off this mass awakening. Aquarius is the humanitarian sign. It is really the energy of power to the people. And Pluto brings about mass upheavals. So, of course, this is going to be a time where we're really seeing these old, outdated systems being dismantled, and the corruption that was lying underneath them is being exposed. And all of these other planets being here as well are just adding to that energy. Like the sun being here is just shining a light on everything that's going on. And Mars being here is what's giving that bold, that aggressive energy that is making us all feel like we're ready for this right now. We are ready. And Venus being here is just adding even more heightened emotions around this situation. Like this is a very zoom in, let's laser focus on what the problems are moment. This ball of energy right here is what's bringing about this like mass awareness of the greater systemic issues that we actually face, and not the ones that we've been told that we've been facing for the past 10 years. People are really starting to notice that the way that they have been told to view the world is not the way that the world actually is. Now let's talk about this energy right here, because if this energy is the mass awakening, then this energy right here is the breakthrough. Saturn and Neptune are in their final degrees in Pisces before they start a new cycle in Aries. And I want to tell you something about Saturn and Neptune. Neptune is disillusionment, okay? If Neptune is the veil that has been over our face for the last 20 or so years, then Saturn is the one that's really bringing in the energy that's going to lift that veil and expose the harsh reality. The fact that these two are conjunct today with the moon at 1 degree Aries means that this could be a very specific moment that really triggers bringing this energy in. And this is kind of like a push and pull type of moment, because on one hand, while we are bursting the bubbles of deception that we've all been living in, we're also kind of being grounded back into reality. And all of this collective energy, I feel like, is what has been bringing out these sort of activists in different aspects of politics. And you can really tell, if you pay attention, which are the activists that know the direction that we're trying to go and the ones that are activists just because they feel the energy and they don't know how to direct it. And a lot of people probably wouldn't even talk about this, but the fact that Chiron, our biggest wound that we need to heal, is also in Aries is really telling about the energy of this progression that we are heading towards. Chiron in Aries specifically is related to wounds around self-identity. So the focus here is really going to be on who are we as Americans? What do we value? And how can we find a way to be able to live out our lives in the most authentic, true to ourselves way? And if we handle this correctly, this could really be a moment where we finally shed all of the stereotypes that come with being a part of either party in politics. And if we are able to work collectively together on this, then both sides of the aisle can really get the reality checks that they need in order to reinvent themselves into a better, new, bolder, more authentic version of themselves. If we harness this transit correctly, we can come out with two brand new parties that represent our values as Americans, not the values of Americans 20, 30, 50 years ago. So this moment is really special, because if we manage to accomplish the right things, we can really change the course of history for the better. We can leave behind all of the things that did not work in the system, and we can reinvent the system in a way that benefits us and where we are today as a society. I think if we can all manage to have this like collective goal in mind of really improving whatever side of the party you identify on right now, I really think that we can move in a positive direction. Because at this point, the longer that we stay in this like culture war cycle that they have us in, the longer it is going to take for the veil to be lifted and for us to make any actual progress. And remember the phrase that millionaires don't use astrology, billionaires do, okay? There is a reason why they want to send you into this same cycle again, because they know the potential that we have in this moment. It is time that we all say that it is us versus the elites. It is us versus them, not us versus each other. And we have to mean it this time. Because like I said, this is like some special once in a lifetime energy, and we have got to harness it.